Alrighty, welcome. This is Total Body Strength. Set of 2 medium to heavy weights. I've got, 8 pounds and 5 pounds today. Feel free to go heavier or go lighter. Let's start with our warm up today. Drawing your knees up towards your chest, feet are hip width apart and parallel. Deep inhales, deep exhales. One more on each side. And then take that knee up and over to a side lunge, warming up those hip flexors, warming up that lower body. Deep bend into that knee as you draw it over to the side. Let's do one more on each side. From here, keep your feet nice and wide, toes are turned out, arms out to a T. We're going to bend and extend to the knees, chest stays lifted. Few more here. On the next one, we're going to hold the knees bent, reach down, tap towards the opposite inside foot. Reach for your foot, your calf, your knee, reach for whatever you can. Arms come back out to a T, shoulders stacked over your hips as you rise up. One more on each side. From here, arms remain out to a T. Hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your arms up towards the ceiling, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep it going. Alright, on the next one, rise up to stand. Bring your feet back to hip width apart and parallel with your right leg. We're just going to swing it forward and back. Soft bend that staying left knee. On the next one, hold that right leg back, coming into a reverse lunge. We're going to lower that right knee down, untuck your right toes. We're just going to step forward and back into that left knee, opening up your left hip. One more. On the next one, hold the hips back. Keep that left leg straight, point, flex, circle out that left ankle. And then hold the left toes flexed, hinge forward, framing your left foot. Maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes, holding forward, feeling that stretch all on the back side of your left leg. And your next inhale, go ahead and step your left foot in, rise up to standing. Go ahead and come to standing, drawing that left leg forward and back. On the next one, hold that left leg back. Big step forward with the right foot. Gently release your left knee to the floor. Untuck your left toes. Straighten that right leg. Draw the hips back. Bring the hips forward. Opening up that right hip on this side. You can have those right toes facing forward or gently turned out to 2 o'clock. One more. On the next one, hold the hips back. Keep that right leg straight. Point, flex, maybe circle out that right ankle. Hold the right toes flexed, hinge forward, framing your right foot. May bring your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh, feeling that stretch all along the back side of your right leg. And your next inhale, gently rise to stand. Then bring your hands to your hips. We're going to draw that right leg out to the right, and then in front, out, and behind. One more forward, and back. And just gently place that right foot down. Draw the left leg out from the hip, out in front, over to the side, and behind. Alright, shake out the arm, maybe draw the arms back in a circle. And then forward. Alright, shake out anything else that you may need to. Maybe grab a sip of water. First move, we're going to bring our weights to a V. So a V facing you. It's maybe an upside down V rather. And from here, we're going to grab one heavy weight between your palms And then bring your heels on those weights. So your heels are together, your toes are turned out, one way between your palms, and we just have a goblet squat, chin and chest is lifted. So we have 3 sets of moves. In each set, we have 4 different moves. We'll be doing them for 45 seconds on, 15-second breather. You're gonna feel it in your quads here. We're gonna do these rounds 3 times through. We got a nice breather after that 3rd round. And then brand new moves coming up after that. Deep bend in the knees. Keep it going. You got 12 seconds. We're going to swap out that single heavy weight for 2 medium to heavy weights, 1 weight in each hand. You got 3, 2, and 1. All right. Again, 45 seconds on, 15-second breather in between. So grab those weights from here. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Slightly hinge at your waist, flat back. Bring your palms in. We have a wide row to a T out in the arms. Wide row. T out the arms. So palms are facing towards your feet. Wide row. T out the arms. Firing up those shoulders here. Keep that hinge forward. You've got 20 seconds to go. That's it. Keep it going. You've got 7. Wide row. Arms out to a T. All right. Keep those weights or go slightly heavier. So with 1 weight in each hand, feet are hip width apart and parallel. They can be slightly further, slightly closer. Relax your shoulders up and down. Keep your shoulders down from your ears. We have oblique crunches, so reaching your same hand to the same outside ankle, reaching down and back up. Noticing that as you reach your right hand down, you're stretching that left side, and as you reach your left hand down, you're stretching that right side. As you reach your same hand down to the same ankle, you are actively stacking that top shoulder directly over your bottom, so avoid letting your body roll forwards or backwards. Keep it going. You got less than 10 seconds here. We're going to hold those 2 heavy weights for our next move. All right, finish up where you're at from here. Feet are still hip width apart and parallel. Go heavy here. 1 weight in each hand. We have deadlifts to a chin up, so your back is flat as you hinge forward. That timer has begun. And rise up. You want to keep your back nice and flat. Your focus isn't on how low you reach your hands, but how far you go. Imagine that you're trying to scoot down and back up, and you're using your lower body. You're not using your upper body here as you reach your hands down towards your toes. Keep it going. You got 15 seconds to go. My computer always locks up at the worst time. Deadlift to a chin lift. Keep it going. Glide the weights on the front of your shins. And reach. All right, finish up where you're at. We're going to place those weights back in that V formation, or you can just keep them there if you have the space. Grab that 1 heavy weight between your palms. Place your heels on those weights. We're firing up those quads now. Squat down and rise. Bringing that single weight between your palms, just at your collarbone. Keep it going. Squat down. Heels stay lifted. Chin and chest is lifted the entire time. Shoulders relax down from your ears. Almost there. 10 seconds to go. That's it. You've got 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm just going to keep those weights there. I'm going to grab my other set of weights for this. We have that wide row to the T arm. So feet are hip width apart and parallel, palms facing in towards your hips. We got that wide row. Tee out the arms. Wide row. Tee out the arms. Exhale as you draw the arms up. Inhale to release. Keep it going. You're more than 15 seconds down. Palms stay facing towards your body the entire time. Your back is flat. Avoid rounding or arching your spine. That's it. You've got 10 seconds. Stay with it. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, if you went lighter, I'm going to encourage you to go a little bit heavier here. You remain hip width apart and parallel, shoulders up and down, one weight in each hand. Reach that same hand to that same ankle, and then switch. Stacking that top shoulder directly over your bottom. So actively avoid rolling forward. You want to keep your body as if between two panes of glass, and you're just sliding left to right, right to left, reaching your hand towards your outside ankle. Keep it going. Reaching further. That's it. You got 10 seconds. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right, relax your shoulders up and down. We have that deadlift to a chin lift. So roll your shoulders up and down. Follow your gaze as you hinge at your hips, soft bend in your knees. You're gliding the weights down and coming up. Again, the goal here is not to reach your hands as far as you can. Go to the depth that works for you. You should not be using the upper body as you reach your hands towards your toes. Maybe reach for your knees. And then you're drawing your palms facing inward, up towards your chin. Elbows are wide. Grounding through all 3 points of your toes. Imagine you're trying to press your hips back towards the wall behind you. Maybe it's an imaginary wall. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, third and final round. Let's make it our best yet. Come back to that V stance. Draw your heels onto those weights. Last time here. Heavy weight between your palms. 1 or 2 weights. Heels together, toes turned out. Goblet squats on those weights. Chin and chest stays lifted. You're firing up those quads here. Keep it going. You're 15 seconds in. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Really avoid holding your breath. You don't want any unnecessary cramps. Keep it going. That's it. You got 10 seconds. So we're going to work that upper body next. That's 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right. You can remove that V stance. Last time we're going to be using that. Grab weights for upper body. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Palms are facing in. So scarecrow row, wide arm row. Tee out the arms. Palms are still facing in towards your body. If it hurts your back as you hinge forward, really think about drawing your navel into your spine. You can also work from a more upright position. So with that scarecrow row, and then tee out the arms. No matter what kind of hinge you are at degree-wise in your back, scarecrow row, tee out the arms. Keep it going. That's it, you've got 10. And we're about 6 months, even further away from Halloween. That's it. All right, go heavy here if you had slightly lighter weights. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Roll your shoulders up and back. Really relax your shoulders. Hands by your side, one weight in each hand. We're going to reach for the same outside ankle. Come up to center. Reach down towards the opposite side. So you're alternating right hand to right ankle, center, left hand to left ankle. Come back to center, slow and controlled. Nothing's for speed here. This is your last time doing this. 20 seconds to go. That's it. Reaching the same arm down. Beautiful work. Way to keep those shoulders stacked on top of each other as you reach down. You've got 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Finish up where you're at. All right, with your feet so hip width apart and parallel, we have deadlift to a chin lift. So ground through those toes. From here, relax your shoulders up and down, hands by your side, palms facing in. Reach down. As you come to standing, then we lift the arms, drawing your thumbs up towards your chin. Once you have your hands fully extended, we're hinging at the hips. Use that lower body to reach down towards your toes, not your upper body. Keep it going. Reach up and release. That's it. 15 seconds to go. You've got it. 4 brand new moves coming up next. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect timing. Finish up where you're at. Release everything down. Maybe grab a sip of water. All right, we're going to use heavy weights next. Got 20 seconds, don't worry. All right, we are going to use upper body first. So heavy weights of choice. I'll just quickly show you what we're going to do. Feet are hip width apart and parallel, soft bend on your knees, and we're going to hinge forward. Again, that flat back. Don't arch or round your spine, just a flat back. From here, I'll restart that. We have a bent fly. Bring the arms back down, V raise. So your elbows are bent like you're holding that big beach ball. Bent reverse fly, V raise. So your arms are straight with them high overhead. All right, let me start that timer again. Those 20 seconds fly by. All right, now the 45 seconds have begun. Reverse fly, V raise. Fire up those shoulders once again. Keep a soft bend in those knees. You're 15 seconds in. Very nice. As you raise the arms up overhead, try to keep those elbows straight. As you draw those shoulder blades together in that reverse fly, your elbows are bent. Keep it going. We have lower body next. Last 5. You've got 3, 2, and 1. All right, I recommend going heavy here, of course. Modify, grab lighter weights if you'd like. Bring that left foot forward, right foot back. We have a single leg deadlift. So you pop that right heel, left foot is flat. Same thing we did with both the legs. This time we're just gliding that weight down the front of your left leg. And this time we're not eyeing that chin up, just lower body, firing up those glutes, firing up those hamstrings. Again, as you lower and lift your hands, you want to use your lower body. Your upper body is not working, even though those weights are in your hands. Right leg is staggered back. Glide the way down the front of your left shin. Your left knee stays bent. Your right knee is very bent. Keep it going. You've got 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Finish up where you're at. Roll your shoulders up and back. Switching sides. Right foot forward, left foot staggers back. Pop that left heel. Right foot is flat. From here, weights down in front of you. Just gonna glide those weights down the front of that right shin and bring them up. Back remains flat. coming down to the depth that works for you. Maybe that's to your right knee, maybe somewhere along your right shin, maybe towards your right toes. Do not force it. Do not focus on that depth. You want to focus on how far you can go without using your upper body to raise. You're just working that lower body here. We're going to come down onto the floor next with one heavy weight. You've got 5. All right, rise up, finish up where you're at. Set one weight down, bring one weight to your right hand. We're gonna come down. You have options to come to a tabletop. You can hover your knees and to bear. You can come out to high plank. We're gonna bring that weight over to the left hand. Place your left hand down, grab the weight with your right hand, drag it over to the right side, place it down. So you're bringing that weight from right to left, left to right. Your back remains flat. Your navel is pulled into your spine. Option 1, tabletop, wrists under your knees. Wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. That'd be interesting. Option 2, you can tuck your toes, hovering your shins and bear. Avoid letting your hips rock side to side. Option 3, coming into that high plank. You're still dragging that weight from one side to the next. We're back to the top and 3, 2. All right, that was a fast 3. Grab those weights for upper body. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Hinge forward, reverse chest fly to a V raise. Palms facing in towards one another. All right, bring your shoulder blades together and then lift the arms overhead. Very nice. Keep your gaze forward. Reverse fly to a V raise. Adjust your weights if you need to do so. Really ground through your feet. All 3 points, big toe, pinky toe, straight back to that heel. That's it. Reverse fly, overhead V raise. Beautiful work. You've got 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Finish up where you're at. Go heavy. We're going to start with that right leg in front, left leg back. Bring your shoulders up and down. Single leg lift. Glide the weight down and lift. That timer has begun. 45 seconds on the clock. So you can keep that back left foot on the floor. If you'd like, you can lift that back leg up, challenge your balance. As you bring the hands down, lifting that left leg. Little tip, the heavier your weights are, the easier it is to hold your balance, but you still want that work to be in that leg, not your upper body. The weight is all in your glutes and in your thighs. So you're still going to that depth without using the upper body. All right, relax the shoulders back. Bring that left foot forward. Right foot staggers back. Pop that heel, or you can lift and lower that back right leg if you can hold your balance. Bring the weights out in front of you. Keep that bend in your front left knee. Option 1, keep that back foot on the floor. Lowering and lifting. Your back is flat. I don't know why my dogs always want to talk at this hour. Or you can lift that back leg. What are you saying, Lucy? As you hinge forward, whether you are lifting that back right leg or keeping it on the floor, you want your gaze to follow you. And again, do not have your focus be how far down your hands are going. Go to the depth without using your upper body. You've got 2 and 1. Set one weight down to the side. Bring one weight this time over to your left hand. Remember your options. Tabletop, you can tuck your toes, hover your shins and bear, or in or in high plank. Starting in tabletop here, weight is in your left side. Grab it with your right hand, bring it over to the right side, place your right hand down, grab it with your left side. Maybe start in tabletop. Focus on your breath work here. Keep drawing your navel in towards your spine. Your back remains flat. In that tabletop, notice that your hips aren't rocking side to side. As you tuck your toes, lifting your hips, you want to keep that exact same stance. Avoid letting your hips rock side to side. You want to take it up even further. Extend your legs out to that high plank. The wider your foot stance is in that high plank, the easier it's going to be. The more narrow your feet are, the more challenging it's going to be. You're dispersing that weight less. All right, come on up. Third and final round is here. It comes so fast. Grab the set of weights for upper body. Soft bend your knees, feet are hip width apart and parallel, so they hinge forward. Back is flat. One weight in each hand. Keep bending the elbows. Reverse fly. Straighten those arms. The overhead raise. Reverse fly. Overhead raise. So your back is flat. Avoid arching or rounding your spine. No hinged cat or cows. Keep it going. Palms are facing in towards one another the entire time. Ground through both feet. Big toe to pinky toe. Straight back to that heel. That's it. Reverse fly, overhead raise. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Set those weights down. Grab those 2 heavy weights here. Bring that left foot forward this time. Stagger your right leg back. Remember your options. You can keep that right foot on the floor or lift it and lower it as you glide the weights down. Bringing that weight down in front of your left shin. Maybe towards your knee, and then rise up. Keep that gaze with you. If you notice that you're bringing the weights down and you're squeezing your glutes and you release that squeeze and you're using your upper body to come back up, you're going too far. You want all that work to be in your lower body. You are firing up those glutes. Keep it going. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, try to just bring the weight just to your shin, the top of your shin, and back up. Notice that pressure you're putting on, and then to rise up versus if you fully extend. And I'll try time to switch. Right foot forward, left foot back, stagger left leg back, shoulders up and down, weights out in front. We're just gonna glide forward and up. So same thing on this side. If you're not sure what I mean by using your lower body, bring the weights to your knees, hold it, and then rise up. All of that work is in your glutes and in your thighs, versus if you come all the way down and you're using your arms to rise up. You want to keep that focus in your lower body, going to the depth that works for you. Maybe lifting that back left leg off the floor if you want to challenge your balance, challenge your core. Keep a micro bend in your standing right leg. All right, finish up where you're at. Set one weight down. Bring the weight over to your right side. Tabletop. Tuck your toes for bear, shins hovering, or high plank. Weights on the right side. Grab it with your left hand, bring it over to the left. Place your left hand down. Grab it with your right hand, bring it on over. Keep it going. Tabletop. Tuck your toes in bear, or extend your legs out to that high plank. Avoid rocking those hips side to side. This is it. You got a breather after this. And then our last 4 moves coming up. May pick up the pace. That's it. You got 12 seconds. Keep your navel pulled into your spine. Your back is flat. Avoid rocking side to side. That's it. 3, 2, and 1. Release the knees down. If they were lifted, grab a sip of water. You still got 25 seconds. All right, our first move, you still got 20 seconds. Our first move is going to be standing. The last 3 we're going to be on the floor. So, Grab one weight. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. We have a tricep bend and extend. So we have that single weight. Bring it overhead. Grab it with your thumb and index finger. Arms up overhead. Bend and extend. Working those triceps. So your elbows aren't moving. They're not coming forwards or backwards. They're just directly over your shoulders. You're bending and extending those elbows. They're staying directly over your hip, over your shoulders and your hips. Keep it going. We're going to grab 2 heavy weights and come back to the floor. Find our tabletop to start. Same options as we ended in the last round. You've got 3, 2, and 1. All right, grab those 2 weights. I recommend going heavy here. Bring them under your hands. Starting in tabletop, you can tuck your toes, hovering your shins in bear, or send your legs out in high plank. We have narrow rows, all chain right to left. Keep it going. We did our scarecrow rows, wide arm rows earlier. Same options here. You can hold in tabletop, or you can tuck your toes, hover your shins, and bear. Personally, my wrists hurt if I'm not in tabletop. If I don't release that weight that I'm not using, you can also extend your legs out and give me that narrow row in the high plank. Narrow your feet to make it more challenging. All right, come on down. Set one weight off to the side. Flip it on over, coming onto your bum. We have straight leg, wide scissors. Roll back. Weight overhead. Please don't drop that weight. Point your toes. Legs are straight. Hover your legs. Lift your right leg and switch. And switch. Now your neck can be flat on the floor. Your arms are directly overhead, securing that weight. You can also tuck your chin, lifting your shoulders, bringing your gaze towards your navel. Keep it going. Wide leg scissor kicks, L kicks. You got 15 seconds. We're going to grab that second weight here. We're going to stay on our back for our 4th move. You got 5. Point the toes. All right, draw the knees in towards the chest, and then release the feet flat on the floor. If your neck was lifted, go ahead and lower it down. Grab that second weight. Place the weights on your hips. Of course, you can always have the weights off to the side. If you're using the weights on your hips, hold them there. Zip your legs together, feet and knees to touch. We have glute bridge raise and lowers. Lift and lower. This is a glorious stretch for our first move that we started with today with those quads. You're lifting your hips up. So we're just doing a glute bridge raise and lower. We're not doing a full bridge. So keep your shoulders in towards the floor. Neck is flat on the floor. Protect your spine. Squeeze your glutes, not just at the top, but the entire time as you raise, lower to barely tap, and then lift right back up again. You got 3, 2, and 1. Gently release down, set your weights off to the side, rise to stand, back to where we started. Standing, tricep, bend and extend. Arms are straight overhead, bend those elbows, and extend. Core is engaged. So keep those shoulders stacked over your hips. Keep your biceps tight towards your ears. That's it. You're already 15 seconds in. We're going to find that tabletop next. We have narrow rows. Tabletop, tuck the toes in bear or high plank. Stay with it. We're working those arms for now. You got less than 15 seconds to go. Bend and extend those elbows. Keep them directly over your shoulders. That's 5. And 3, 2, and 1. Release that weight down. All right, find that tabletop, maybe tuck your toes, finding that bear. Maybe extend your legs in that high plank position. Bring those weights directly under your wrist. All right, give me those narrow rows. Bring it up and back down. Resting your hand back under your shoulder, whether you're in that tabletop, your toes and shins are hovering that bear, or you're in that high plank position. Narrow row, core is engaged. You're doing double duty here. That's it. No matter what position you're in, I want you to actively draw your navel in towards your spine. Your back is flat. All right, finish up where you're at. Somewhat weight off to the side. Come onto your bum, your left or right hip. Roll all the way back. One heavy weight between your palms. Overhead. Please, please, please don't drop it. Point your toes. Hover your legs. Maybe tuck your chin. Lift your head. And give me that L step. Straight, slow bicycles. As you bring one leg up towards the ceiling, maybe towards that weight, the opposite leg is coming down towards the floor. That leg is not touching the floor, so you are actively hovering it. As you lower it, imagine that floor is lava. Your lower back is glued to that floor. Not a bit of space, not a drop of water can get between your lower back and that floor. Draw your navel into your spine. Keep your belly pulled in. Beautiful work. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Draw your knees into your chest. Release your feet down. Feet are hip width apart and parallel this time. Grab that second weight, place it on your hips, or set the weights off to the side. Hip width, glute bridge raise, and lower. Squeezing those glutes, imagining that your glutes are that kitchen sponge and you want to get all of that excess water out before you set it off to the side. Keep it going. We've got one more round after this. Just 3 minutes of work here. Each move, you got 45 seconds. You got a nice 15-second breather as a transition into the next move. Keep it going. Lift and lower. Squeeze your glutes. Last 10 seconds here. That's it. Keep it going. Glute bridge, raise and lower. All right, release it down. Set the weights off to the side gently. Come to standing. Grab that weight of choice for overhead tricep bend and extend. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Maybe wider, maybe closer. Weight between your index finger and thumb. Arms are straight up overhead. Just bend and extend those elbows. So your elbows stay nice and high. Keep your gaze forward. Keep your navel pulled in towards your spine. You can have a soft bend in your knees. That's it. Beautiful work. 20 seconds to go. Last time doing this. We're on the floor for the next 3 moves. 10 seconds. Bend and extend. Don't move your biceps. All right, finish up where you're at. Release the weight off to the side. Grab those heavy weights. Place those weights under your shoulders. Find that tabletop, knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. Maybe tuck your toes, hover your shins and bear, or extend your legs in that high plank. Give me those alternating narrow rows. Reach up, draw that thumb toward your rib, maybe past your rib cage. Release it back down. Your navel is pulled into your spine. Your back is flat. Keep it going. If you're in that high plank, maybe actively pull your feet together. Avoid rocking side to side. That's it. You got it. We're coming on to our back next for our next 2 moves. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Gently set one weight out to the side, come to your left or right hip, roll onto your back. Option to bring one weight between your palms overhead, point your toes, neck flat on the floor or shoulders hovering, wide L step. Keep it going, just like a slow wide scissor. Don't let that weight come down. If you're using that weight overhead, drawing one leg down towards the floor without touching, one leg up towards your hands or that weight. Keep it going. Lower back is glued to the floor. Navel pulled into your spine. That's it. We're lowering those legs in 10. That's 8. Last 5, 3, 2, and 1. Draw the knees in. Lower them down. This time, walk your feet out wider than your hips. Toes are slightly turned out. Bring those weights to your hips or no weights. We have wide hip lifts and lowers. Shoulders are pressed into the floor. 45 seconds is on the clock. You're targeting those outer glutes here. Your left toes are turned to 10 o'clock. Right toes are turned to 2 o'clock. Keep your knees nice and wide. That's it. Wide glute bridge, raise and lower. Squeeze at the top, squeeze the bottom, squeeze the whole way down and the whole way up. Actively squeezing. The last 12 seconds here. Lift and lower, shoulders are pressed in towards the floor, neck is flat, just gazing up towards that ceiling. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Set your weights off to the side, draw your knees into your chest, curl yourself into a tiny ball. You can grab opposite hands, opposite elbows, and just roll side to side. All right, come back through center, rock and roll yourself a few times along your spine. Nice spinal stretch here. All right, rock on up. When you get there, from here, extend your right leg long. Draw the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Bring your right hand down. Left arm comes up high overhead. Gaze out, looking under your left armpit. Feeling that stretch all along the left side body. And then rotate your left arm down, framing your right foot, bringing your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. On your next inhale, gently roll up slowly. Switching sides, extend your left leg, draw the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left leg. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up high overhead. Just gently gaze now under your right armpit. Feeling that stretch all along the right side body. On your next exhale, gently rotate your right arm down towards the floor, framing that left foot. Maybe bring the crown of your head towards your toes. Slowly bring the soles of your feet to touch, butterfly your knees open, and just lift and lower your legs. You are welcome to stay here if you'd like a deeper lower back stretch. Gently extend your legs out so you're making more of that diamond shape with your legs. Bring your hands under your calves. You're welcome to stay here, or you can come further by bringing the palm of each hand on the top shoelace portion of your feet, lengthening your spine, and then roll forward, bringing the crown of your head towards the arch of your foot, maybe your heel, maybe your toes, maybe past your toes, lengthening your spine. One more deep inhale. On your exhale, just release your hands, release your bind, coming up. Crisscross your legs, applesauce, right over left, left over right. Throw your right arm across your body, whatever's comfortable for you with your lower body. And then open and switch. Left arm across your body. Just gently pulling your left forearm into your right shoulder with your right hand. Open. Draw your right elbow wide behind your head. Chin and chest is lifted here. Open and switch. Chin and chest lifted. Open, release your hands down, circle out your wrist. Bring your right hand down towards the floor. Look, arm comes up high overhead. And switch. And bring your right hand down, gently rise to stand. Walk your feet wider than your hips, toes are slightly turned out. Nice big inhale. One more. Fantastic work. Thank you so very much today. Again, I hope you enjoyed.